Welcome to Rescue Owner Live. This is episode number 23. Can you believe that? 23 episodes. Get excited. My name is Kirk Mote. You are on with the one and only Beth Mote. And if this is your first time joining us here tonight, welcome to Rescue Owners Live. Rescue Owners Live is a show where we discuss how to build your business more effectively, efficiently, and profitably, all through the lens of attaining your personal, professional, financial goals. Whether this is your first time, your last time, or you've been here every time, go ahead and take a minute in the chat and put in where you are listening in from. In fact, I will go ahead and do that myself. We are streaming live from Atlanta, Georgia, home of the Braves. Come on. Watch anyone baseball fan in the chat, would love to hear it. Did y'all see the grand slam last night? Started out strong, couldn't finish it. Oh, Typical Atlanta. Hopefully we'll finish it. We'll finish it either I guess, what is it, Tuesday or Wednesday? Tuesday or Wednesday. We could finish it Tuesday.
Oh yeah, next one.
That would be awesome. I would absolutely love that. Last week we hosted the inaugural Rescue Owners Challenge. Now this was an intense, like 4-day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of last week, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It was a solid 3 hours, the fastest 3 hours in social media history. We literally had a rock star lineup. We had Will Figueroa, Brady McLaughlin, Jared Yellen, Justin LaFazan, Ken Jocelyn, TK Kasande, Brent Crow, Mike Papel, Magda Khalifa, Pat Quinn, Rush Yeager, Dr. Hudson Garrett Jr., Michael Glover, Jared Ritter, and Mike C-Rock Sirocco. This was an incredible powerhouse of a week. And if you missed that, you need to go back and get the recordings. We have them. Actually, let's see. Do we have an offer? I think we have an offer. Let me just throw it up on the screen so you can see. And go ahead, throw in the chat where you can get those recordings. But for only $97, you are getting 15 speakers, 4 days worth of content. And when you compile all these speaker fees into one, we calculated it was over $240,000, and you get all that for only $97. 24/7 access on demand, every single bit of content you got on your screen. So you definitely do not want to miss out. And guess what? 100% of the proceeds will be going directly to Pass the Pulse. And if you don't know what Pass the Pulse is a nonprofit organization that specializes in preventing, preparing, and properly responding to sudden cardiovascular diseases. So Pass the Pulse literally installs the hardware, the software, the training, and the maintenance for 10 years, a full decade. So whether it's a family or a community in need of this life-saving device, the 100% of the proceeds for that particular recording that we did last week is 100% going to Pass the Pulse. So we're going to be donating a defibrillator on behalf of Pass the Pulse. So
great cause as well as great information. So you benefit, someone else benefits.
100%. We have a very, very special guest coming on later tonight, and I'm super excited to have him with us. His name is Buck Wise, and this guy, he's a rock star. I'll give you a little glimpse of who Buck Wise is. He is the Chief Marketing Officer of Cardone Ventures. So Buck Wise is a master of marketing and innovation with experience spanning across media, content development, sales, and distribution. Buck's mission is to help individuals and business owners attain their personal, professional, financial goals through digital ingenuity. Does that sound familiar? Personal, professional, financial goals? Guess where we got it from? These guys. Buck's experience includes leading global teams responsible for driving innovation for brands such as Google, Starbucks, and Nike. Have you heard of those? Buck co-founded his own full-service digital agency whose clients include Chevrolet, Volvo, Major League Baseball. Any Major League Baseball fans in the house? Go Braves, right? And the North American International Auto Show. Additionally, Buck was an executive within the world's largest advertising group, WPP, and Buck's focus is planning, developing, implementing, and monitoring the marketing strategy for Cardone Ventures and its clients, helping business owners get out of obscurity and build lasting relationships. Like, this guy is a powerhouse. He is stupid smart. You're going to absolutely love the content he has to share with us tonight. So do me a huge favor. Go ahead and hit that share button right now. So someone in your network, I guarantee you, needs to hear what Buck has to say tonight. So go ahead. Don't be selfish with the information here. Let everyone know what you're doing. That you're listening to Rescue Owners Live, and Buck Wise will be on very shortly. But before we get it with Buck Wise, I did kind of want to hit some highlights from this week. And Beth, you're smiling over there. Is there someone commenting in the chat?
Michael said, "Buck for president."
Buck for president. I love it. I love it. I'd vote for him. He will remarket, rebrand the US of A.
There you go.
I love it. I love it. So day one of last week, we had, let me make sure I get the names right. Will Figueroa, Brady McLaughlin, Jared Yellen. These guys were phenomenal. One of the biggest takeaways, what we did is we actually took the content and we created homework for people to like go through and really do some, soul searching on their content. And the first question we came up with was what business processes do you need to create? That was the big thing that Will Figueroa was talking about. What business processes do you need to create? And so often we, as the business owners, we're wearing 27 different hats. And what'll happen is, you get so bombarded, you're on this hamster wheel, you can never stop. And if you stop, your cash flow stops, and it's a huge cyclical, problem, I would say. And so how do you go about fixing that? How do you get off the hamster wheel? How do you, delegate and elevate, if you would, is a phrase that Gino Wickman, I believe, uses in EOS, which stands for Entrepreneur Operating Systems. Absolutely incredible. You need to read, by the way. So EOS, Google it. It's absolutely incredible. Traction is a great book, and you need to learn about processes and systems in your business. And honestly, I'd apply this to your personal life too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So what business processes do you need to create? And you sit back and you're like, okay, literally write down every single thing you do throughout the day. Every single thing you do and everything you wish you could do, because you obviously can't get to everything. So write down everything you need for a successful business, and then figure out the top, the top 5 things that, it has to be done and you're the only one that can do it. And those are the top most important things. Once you figure out what those top 5 things are, then start creating processes around those 5 things, and then start hiring out the things, that are as important, but still need to be done.
Well, and at the end of the day, people often have a hard time letting go of those tasks because they're like, oh, no one does it better than me. Well, 1, maybe that's true. It could definitely be true. But 2, you're never going to be able to scale if you can't hand off tasks. And it's not going to be perfect at the beginning. No one's going to be, able to just pick up and do just as well as you exactly to your standards. But the only way to get to that point is to start and be willing to work with people until you can explain exactly how you want things done. You can create your procedures. I'm jumping ahead to some stuff that we get to in later days, but it's a process of slowly starting to hand things off and being able to focus on those things, like Kirk said, of your top things that you're good at.
And by the way, we had 950 people attend our virtual summit, our virtual event, whatever you want to call it, Rescue Owners Challenge last week. So 900, we were 50 people shy of breaking the 1,000 people attending mark. So
that's 1 or 2 shares. It didn't happen.
That's 1 or 2 shares. So if you haven't shared yet, go ahead and make the share happen, because you definitely want to hear Buck Wise, and you want your whole network to hear Buck Wise. He's going to absolutely blow it up. The second speaker on day 1 was Brady McLaughlin, and we talked this guy's awesome. We go way back. We're in the same industry. We do a lot of very similar things. He has a different spin on it. And he mentioned, how can you impact your community or world? That was kind of like the biggest, thought-provoking question that I got out of what he was saying. Mm-hmm. How can you impact your community and world? So, I mean, obviously I would start out with your community. I would figure, okay, let's start out here and then grow out. Because if you start out, world, I guess, focusing on the rooftop and the finishing touches before you build the foundation. So build the foundation in your community, get that strong following, that strong foundation, and just grow it out from there. How can you impact your community? And one thing that we're doing through Pass the Pulse is that we're donating defibrillators.
Well, and the easiest place to start impacting is in your community, because those are the people that or you're closest to locationally or relationally. And those are going to be the people who, you know, are going to end up being your biggest fans because they know you, they've seen you, they know, you know, what your track record looks like, and they're going to help you move past that circumference of where you physically are to where you can be helping people that are, you know, miles away from you.
Yeah, 100%. Now, the third guy I had on day one was a powerhouse, Jared Yellen. He is partnering up with Grant Cardone for 10X Incubator. This guy brought the heat. I mean, he was intense. He was like, I mean, you asked him a question, he was just like, boom, right on top of it. And
he was very like direct with like people say, oh, well, I don't have time for this, or I can't make it fit my schedule or whatever. He's like, no, if you want to get something done, if you're going to get up at 4:30 in the morning, get up at 4:30 in the morning. If you're going to eat healthy, eat healthy. And he was just very much focused on making sure that, you know, you are aware that the only thing stopping you from, you know, doing what you say you're going to do is you. Just make it happen. Basically.
Yeah. And like, do not negotiate your standards. Like that was one thing he said I absolutely love, wrote down, and it's like, okay, what standards am I negotiating? Am I hitting that snooze button in the morning? Am I, you know, you're laughing, am I actually, you know, if I say I'm going to do something, do I do it? Do I follow through? Or is it this something that you say you do it? Like what you say, what you think is what you say is what you do becomes your legacy. We've heard that a million times. We all understand that it's, you know, a fact of life. But truly, if you aren't, you know, speaking, and if you're, first of all, if you're not thinking about things bigger than yourself, then you're not able to talk about things bigger than yourself. And if you're not talking about things bigger than yourself, then you're never going to do anything bigger than what you're doing. And so it's a whole process there. And it's, speaking of processes, number one, but we want to make sure that people, you know, understand processes. We want to help people, you know, really look through all this content here and be like, man, like, so if you, by the way, if you did not join us, if you missed a segment, if you, you know, just want to master the content, then I would highly encourage you to go ahead and get that, you know, official recording of the inaugural Rescue Owners Challenge. It was incredible. But also make sure you join the private Facebook page that is Rescue Owners Challenge. And it's a private Facebook page. So make sure that you register for that thing. So you have to put in your email, you have to put in your phone number and your first and last name that's real. Someone just bought. Who just bought? Who is this? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. People are buying. I love it. I literally just got an email ding that, you know, money's coming in. That's great. That's another $100 towards, you know, that defibrillator for someone who needs, you know, a life-saving device. And again, it's not just the defibrillator. Oftentimes people just donate the defibrillator, but in our case, we're donating the management and the maintenance and the training for the family or community. So
it's truly everything they would need. And a lot of times that's stuff that even purchasing companies don't necessarily get all of it. So we want to make sure that they have everything that we would suggest to a company who's making a purchase. We're like, hey, you really should have all these things. And we mean that when we say it. It's not just, you know, a sales of, oh, you should add this and this and this on. And just show that we mean it. We're making sure that, you know, the people that we're donating to have the full package so that they're fully prepared and for that full time frame.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely can't echo that enough. But back to Jared Yellen, what problem do you solve? Because, you know, one thing he was talking about is he's like, dude, we're in the tech building industry. He's like, I'm a non-technical tech found starter, right? And so it's pretty cool. You don't have to be a technical guy to be a founder of a tech company. Yeah. And he is, you know, proof of that. And they're going to hit 10,000, you know, from, you know, starting to growing to selling 10,000 tech companies in the next 10 years. I mean, it's going to be a massive valuation. He called it the moonshot, right? And so I'm super excited for him. I know he's going to do it. And it was funny. He said, I was having a conversation with Grant Cardone. He said, I told him my vision, and Grant himself, Mr. Think Big, he's like, all right, come on down to earth. He goes, no. You join me up on the moon. Like, he's like, you can either come with me because I'm going to do this with or without you. And Grant put out his hand and said, let's make this happen. And
we've already had people that attended this past week be like, what's that information again? How do I get a hold of him? I have an idea.
Yeah, we had people of the 950. I know one in particular that literally texted me and was like, Kirk, I want to know how to pitch to this guy because I got an idea. I'm like, here you go, brother. Give me information, because we want this to be readily available for anyone. You know, I mean, it's a very strict process, by the way. We have, I think he said he had this year alone so far over 10,000 applicants, and they've only accepted like 126.
Yeah, they want to make sure. I mean, there's multiple factors to it, but you need to have a good idea as well as actually be able to have someone who, I mean, it's like watching Shark Tank. You need someone who can implement that properly.
And watch Shark Tank, by the way. That's a great show because the quality of your questions dictate the quality of your results. Watch and study the questions that the sharks ask potential, businesses that they're looking to invest in or purchase. Those questions are quality questions.
Even just to ask yourself.
Yeah, because okay, how much revenue did you do? How much profit? How much, literally go. What are your margins? Like, these are some great questions that you should know the answer to right off the bat. And if you don't have a business, you have a hobby.
Yeah.
You're not, and maybe you do have a business, but you're not taking it seriously. You're not committed to it, because if you were committed to it, you would actually, in fact, know these numbers. And like I was, during the game last night, I was having a conversation with my uncle, and he was asking me numbers, and I was able to, rap out, some numbers, which is great. And but like if I were to been like, well, first of all, it's none of your dang business what my revenue numbers are. It's like, dude, that's stupid. By the way, anyone that doesn't want to talk about numbers, there's a problem.
Yeah,
there's a problem that they're hiding, that either they're ashamed about for some reason.
It makes sense to not want to talk numbers of like maybe what your product, what you pay for your product or things like that. But when it comes to like what your business profit, revenue, those kind of numbers, like you should be completely willing to be 100% open and honest about that.
Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. So literally the first question my uncle asked was, how much money are you doing? And I told him, and he goes, how much of that profit? I gave him the percentage, and he was, wow. That's he was impressed that I knew my numbers, first of all. And like, was able to whip him out and have it, an open conversation. So that's really cool. But back to Jared Yellen again. He was encouraging everyone, hey, you need to figure out the problems that people have. And especially in tech. I mean, every single app that you have on the phone, there's a problem that app is solving. And that app is solving a problem. He's like, dude, you need to figure out the top 5 problems that someone has or a group of people have and placate those problems. If you try a solution for everyone is a solution for no one. So you got to niche in, you got to figure out exactly what that problem is. And then once you figure out what that is, you make sure that they're willing to buy into it first before you build it out. Because he's like, dude, I don't build anything before I have the market knowledge of people. I know that people have already transacted. People like Brandon Dawson does this all the time. He's like, hey, we're putting together I think the most recent one that they did was the 10x exit. And they're like, it's going to be some videos. It'll be a workshop. It'll be, one-on-one, not one-on-one, but like group mentoring call that will dive into this information. Who's in? And then I was like, so done. Paying the credit card. But he didn't build out those videos until after he found out if people even wanted it.
Yeah, which is smart.
And so that's how he knows how much time, money, energy he should invest based off the return on investment, or the KPI there is, okay, if you have 1,000 people in your audience and you offer them something, what percentage of them say yes? What percentage of them say, yes, I want to go deeper with you? And whatever that percentage is that he needs to hit a certain number, he knows that, okay, if 50% say yes, that, let's say 20% yes, this conservative numbers. So that's 200 people right there. And then at the end of that, he's going to upsell them for something. And so he's now going to have like a workshop with just maybe 20% of those people, right? And he's going to keep increasing the price until it gets to a niche and a very small group of people that are so, intimate, and he's able to really, really pour into them and give them the playbook. And so that's exactly what Jared Yellen was saying here too, is ask yourself, what problem do you solve? And if you're not able to answer that question, then you really need to, before you start tomorrow's work, you need to answer that question, because you're like, oh, well, I teach people CPR. That's great. That is a problem. Workplace safety does require, CPR training in some cases, right? But if that is the problem you solve, there's so many more deeper levels to that. Oh, I'm providing the peace of mind that my, spouse would not have to go through another heart attack without having the proper resources and me being trained and having the proper knowledge.
Well, and it's perfect marketing too, because it shows you their pain points. So
Right.
when you market it, you can be like, have you ever thought XYZ? Have you lost someone from, those kind of questions where, like, whenever you've seen an ad, maybe that you're like, whoa, that's like, it's speaking just to me.
Mhm.
That's what you're aiming for with your marketing.
Because they were able to answer the question, who is my audience and what problem do I solve? Those two questions right there are the most powerful two questions you can ask yourself in marketing. Who am I marketing to? And what problem am I solving for that audience? Now, day two was an awesome experience as well. We started out with Justin Lafazen, and I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his last name. We never got to his last name, but I met this guy years ago. Him and his buddy Dylan, they actually created something called Next Gen Summit. I think it's called Next Gen HQ now is their official business name. But what they did is that they're taking young entrepreneurs and they are just pouring into them. They have a literally network of hundreds of thousands of young entrepreneurs, and they are pouring into them. They drop some incredible knowledge, and not to mention knowledge, but he also dropped some update he hasn't been promoted yet on our show. And he's like, whatever. He was just so excited to share, talk about it, because they're building this out. So if you want to hear the insider information on that, definitely go get the $97 official recordings, because this guy, I mean, absolutely incredible. So are you a good memory maker? Oh, wait, this is day 3. That's the wrong one.
Jumping ahead.
I'm jumping ahead. What wakes you up? That was a question that Justin asked. What wakes you up? And he actually wrote a book about this. What wakes you up in the morning? And I mean, I was like, man, that's first of all, a great question to ask yourself. Like, why? What motivates me? What gets me up? Why am I excited to not hit the snooze alarm? Like, I mean, I know like a lot of business owners, they talk about, man, I am so excited to wake up in the morning because I have this goal, this purpose, this vision, this mission to accomplish, and I can't sleep anymore. I got to go get started. And like I just take the minimum amount of sleep and I hit it, right? And so that is so powerful. So I would encourage everyone on this call here tonight, ask yourself, what wakes you up in the morning? And if you can answer that question, man, we might need to have, a come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
Because if you can't say, you know what, the reason I get up is because the reason I get up is, XYZ, without having the answer to that question, then why are you getting up? And I think a lot of people, especially with what's going on with COVID over the last 18 months, there's been a lot of depression increase. There's been a lot of suicides increase. And I think people don't have this question answered right here. What wakes me up in the morning?
Well, and a lot of people are just trudging off to a job each day, and the only thing they look forward in the morning is getting off of work at night and the weekends. And if you're in that position as a business owner, that's not a good place to be, because then you're creating that environment for, anybody else that you're working with, your employees, or even just your customers. And, you want something that just is like Jared Yellen, a moonshot, something that you're so excited for, something so big that you're like, I know this is going to take all that I have to give, and I want to give 120%, to get there every day.
Yeah. Because without giving that 120, 110, really 100%, I mean, you can't go over whatever, but like without giving all that you can possibly give, I mean, people see that. People hear it. it permeates through how you conversate with people. I was having a conversation with my brother last night actually, and I was asking him, I was like, hey, what's one of the things that you know, your mission right now? And he was like, dude, I want to be kind. He's like, he used the word kind, and it was really, it hit me hard hearing him say this. But he was like, I want people to be treated with respect and treated kindly. He was in the service industry, right? And so he knew for a fact how people can really be treated poorly. And so he was like, man, I think the word kind is my word. And I was like, wow, that's so powerful. But all that to say is that was my man Justin, top 30. So he was Forbes 30 under 30. Him and his man Dylan, and he brought the heat. Before we continue into some more content, we have a very, very special guest in the queue, and we don't want to keep him waiting because this guy is about to rock your world. So if you are just now joining us, make sure you hit that share button. As Chief Marketing Officer, this guy right here, I'm telling you, you're about to get your socks blown off. Buck Wise is a master of marketing and innovation with experience spanning across media, content development, sales, and distribution. Buck's mission is to help individuals and business owners attain their personal, professional, and financial goals through digital ingenuity. Buck's experience includes leading global teams responsible for driving innovations for brands such as Google, Starbucks, and Nike. Buck co-founded his own full-service digital agency, whose clients include Chevrolet, Volvo, Major League Baseball, go Braves, and the National American International Auto Show. Additionally, Buck was an executive with the world's largest advertising group, WPP. Buck's focus is planning, developing, implementing, and monitoring the marketing strategies for Cardone Ventures and its clients, helping business owners get out of obscurity and build lasting relationships. Blow up the chat. Give my man Buck Wise a huge welcome to the stage. Rescue Owners Live. What's up, my man? How you
What's
doing?
happening, Kirk? Thanks for having me on, bro. This is really nice.
Dude, I can't tell you how honored I am to have you on our show. I mean, this is literally Mimic Model Master Multiply Rescue 10X, all right? 10X.
Dude, that's exactly it. You got it down, man. You got it down. Sir. What platforms are we on right now? LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube,
LinkedIn, all of them. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. And I can't figure out how to do live on Instagram yet, but that's coming.
Okay.
But we're using StreamYard between you and me as far as speaking right here. So I absolutely love this platform. Have you used it before?
Yeah, we actually have partners called AMI, Advanced Medical Integration.
Yeah.
And we work with a lot of chiropractors, integrative medicine doctors, and every single week we do something called Marketing Mastermind for the medical group. And we use this Vidyard, and we bring in all kinds of videos and assets. Now, I don't run it, Kirk, in full disclosure. So technically I just talk and somebody else hits the buttons, but it looks like you guys got it down, man. It looks clean. I like the experience.
Appreciate it.
What are you talking about today? How to make more of this? Is this what you're talking about?
That's exactly what we're talking about. Look at you bringing in the prop, man, the paper.
Let's go.
So you want to tell us a little bit how to make a little bit more of that paper?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's all about relationships. It's all about connecting with other people. And so today you have to ask yourself this question. This is the only question you need to ask yourself. How many people did I connect with today? Not your mom, not your dad, not your brother, not your cousin. Who did you connect with today that you didn't know yesterday? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And the more you make those connections, the more you build those relationships, the more those relationships convert into transactions. You know, I think that the typical business owner, Kirk, I don't know, who am I talking to, Kirk? Who's watching this with us right now?
The audience here tonight are all business owners for the most part. On the whole, I am a CPR instructor, and we do something very similar to Cardone Ventures, which is we do the sales, we manage
Great.
sales, operations, marketing, administration for these CPR instructors. So these are
Awesome.
owners, individual owners. So
Got it.
that's who
Got
you're
it.
talking to.
Okay, awesome. So most owners, the issue we have is if you don't have technical trained backgrounds in marketing, you typically go transaction first. You go straight to the transaction. You think about, hey, this is the consumer. Here's my ad. This is what I need to do in order to get more people to buy my thing, right? And the truth is people don't care about your thing. It's hard for us to hear as business owners because we believe in the thing that we do and we treasure it. It's precious. And we want other people to feel the same way. But people are attracted to relationships. They're not attracted to things. And so the reason I'm here with Kirk is because he reached out to me on Instagram and LinkedIn, and he asked me, hey, would you take some time? And so I'm not doing this thing because Kirk is transacting. I'm doing it because he's a new person that I want to make sure I stay connected to in my network. And he probably knows other owners in his network. And so for me, it's like, how do I connect with more people? So the thing you need to be thinking about every day is not what's the perfect ad strategy, what's the perfect marketing strategy. You need to be thinking, how do I connect with more people? And then how do I develop authentic relationships with them? Once you get the relationship, that's how you get more of this. You got to get the relationship first. And then the trust comes. Trust is key. Once you get the trust, then you get the conversion.
I love that. Now, Buck, when people hear Grant Cardone, the 10X world, they sometimes think, oh my gosh, that's way too much. Oh, it sounds so salesy. And so can you talk a little bit, because I know Brandon Dawson does a beautiful job like intertwining the Cardone like in your face and like the John Maxwell servant leader. So can you kind of talk to me about the relationship part of things here?
Yeah, that's a good observation and a really great question, Kirk. So, there is something to be said in leadership. There's something to be said in your ability to inspire others to want to join the mission, to understand the vision, and really, truly comprehend the value in what you're building. And that's where Brandon's just a master. But there is a technique. You have to be a great leader to get more people to follow you, to be a part. Jesus was a great leader. He had 12 people that followed him. Right? He had it down. But once you're a great leader, the second step is in execution, in tactic. And it's all of that follow-up game. It's understanding the behavior of the consumer, the mindset of the consumer. It's about understanding the dialogue, the communication, how to have a conversation in a way that constructs control on your end. And those are all the tactics that Grant's been studying and teaching for years. So the first piece is to understand your mission, vision, value, be an exceptional leader, and inspire people to want to be on that mission with you. And then the second piece is understanding how to nurture the sales cycle, how to nurture the pipeline, how to build bigger, more robust, more qualified, right? That's where Grant comes in. How to qualify. And do you want to qualify over the next 6 months? No.
Absolutely.
No, you want to qualify in a day. You want to shorten your sales cycle. You don't want to qualify for a year, right? You don't want to take a long sales cycle. You want to try to shorten it up as fast as possible. So think about that if you're not using Cardone University to shorten your sales cycle, understand communication, qualify faster, and close deals, then you're missing it. And for any of you that say, hey, that Grant Cardone, he's pushy, man, I don't like it. Well, what you don't like is the lack of belief in yourself. 100%. People who say Grant Cardone is pushy, they never believe in their own ability to create the success. So what do? They push it back on other people. They push it back on Grant, and they push it back on relatives, and they push it back on friends. Anybody that says it's pushy is just somebody that's not committed to themselves.
So can you talk to me a little bit about training? I know how important it is to role play and to be, training constantly, because you can lose stuff so fast. Talk to me about the importance of training so that you don't blow that deal when you are following up, nurturing those leads like you're talking about.
I'll give it to you in two sort of examples here. From a sales standpoint, training is key because you're having dialogues and conversations every day. And as you're having them, we know this. There's a stat, 300% higher conversion rate. 300% higher conversion rate when you have speed to market, when you have the ability to move faster. The minute you hesitate, that breaks trust. Yeah, well, when is the date of that next event and how much does it cost? Let me see. That event is trust gone. How much does it cost? For this product or service? Well, if you did two, trust broke, right? You see what I'm doing? I'm hesitating. I'm slow. The only way I get faster, the event is in 2 weeks. In fact, I've got a little email that gives you all the hotels in the area. I've got the date set for you. I've got the price for you. Can I send that over to you while I'm on the phone? Like, you're moving at the speed of light because that gains more trust. So the only way you can move fast is if you trained. It's the same way a sniper can make a shot faster than you can because they train for that. So the question is your sales team a sniper or is your sales team shooting BBs? That's the question you have to ask yourself. How trained and how much muscle memory do they have? Now, let me put this, I'm not overseeing Grant Cardone's sales training. So let me put this in a marketing perspective. So we know that in order to scale your business, in order to scale yourself, you have to understand the 3 P's of scaling. Our CEO, Brandon Dawson, talks about this. And the 3 P's of scaling are promote, not just promoting what it is. Remember, don't be transactional. Promoting what you do, why you do it. Everyone cares why you do it and who you do it with. Promotion is key. Second P, now that you've promoted, how do you create the relationship to develop a profit? Once you have a profit, you need to build a process. How did I do this? What exactly did I promote and where did I promote it to create that profit? Now I need a process behind it so that I can add the multiplier, which is people, to come back and do more promotion. So the first step in scaling the business, buy Facebook ads. Nope. The first step in scaling the business, get a CRM. Nope. The first step in promoting is what? It's you. It's doing this. I've already promoted twice. You didn't even see me. I had my phone down here. I was promoting down here. I've already promoted. You don't believe me?
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I know you do it 24/7. Looking at your stories, and you got like 27 different stories going on.
Look at this. I got it right here. I've already promoted.
Look at that. Look at that.
I'm promoting. I'm already promoting. So it's your responsibility as the leader of your organization to be promoting and connecting with audiences consistently, because consistency equals trust. So when you talk about training, who do you think promotes better, me or the owner or senior leader in an organization that just started today? I've been doing this 25 years. Grant's been doing this for, 40 years, 50 years. He's been a promoter his entire life. How confident are you in your ability to promote? Well, I guarantee you this. If you make the commitment for yourself to promote, to talk every day, even when you think no one's watching except your mom or your sister or your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, even when you realize they're the only ones watching and you're afraid of how they're going to judge you because, oh, what does he think, she think? I'm an influencer now, like I'm some cool hotshot because I'm on there talking. Yeah, well, the minute you let them get in your head, the minute they stop you from creating a 10x business. And so the question is, if you are consistent in your ability to promote, how great could you be? The training is key. I want you to get it wrong to get it right. I want you to dive head first, and I want you to be promoting every single day.
I know when I first started out, I would redo stuff 20 different times because I knew it was like perfect. But now I just shoot it and I post it. And that's largely in part of things that you've taught us, listening to you over the past, year or so on, 10X Owners Live. And so it's like, hey, forget it. Just post it. No one's going to see it anyway. And just like get it out there.
That's it. It's a muscle memory and you need to be doing it every single day. And the key is remember that if you don't do it every day, you do it one time and that one potential person sees it. Just remember that it's not going to be the first time they see it that they all of a sudden, here's my money, I trust you now. They need to see you they need to see the commitment to yourself first before they commit to you. And so they're going to commit to you when they see that you're committed to doing this every single day. I want to leave you, Kirk. I want to leave you with one last tip if I could, because I'm going to have to bounce here in just a minute. But I want to make sure I over deliver some value to anybody that's joining you here on Live with Kirk.
Dude, I already have a whole page of notes, by the way, from you. So, I just want you to know I'm taking notes while you're talking.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. This is the last piece of information. Like, all of this will work. The key is, Grant always says, 90% of the customers, 90% of the viewers, 90% of the participants right now watching Kirk and myself have this conversation will walk away from this webinar, will walk away from this live stream, whether they're on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, or wherever they're at, and they will fail. And they will fail not because they didn't understand it, not because they didn't take the right notes at the right time, but because they didn't commit to the things that I told them to do. 90% of you will fail because you are not committed to yourself and not committed to actually doing the things you need to be doing every day. Yeah, I'm not really good at that social thing. I'll hire someone to do it. Yeah, I don't really know my login. Maybe I'll figure it out one of these. You're making all these excuses in your head on why you can't promote, and that is the reason you will fail 100%. So this is the last thing I want to give you, is just a little value add here. Remember, when you're promoting, remember we talked about being transactional versus transformational and developing relationships. When you start promoting, remember, it's not always the customer you're promoting for. Remember, for some of you, you're at a break point where you need better people. You could be recruiting to somebody. Hey, look at me. I'm on with Kirk right now. I'm doing this live stream. It's amazing. Somebody watching that, man, Buck's having the best time. How does he get to do all this fun stuff with these amazing clients and customers, right? I need to quit this BS agency job and go join Buck and do some cool marketing, right? So, like, here I was talking about Kirk, but yet I got somebody that wants to work with me now. Or think about this. You're hitting a break point in your business and you need new tech, new automation. Well, there's a vendor sitting right here watching your promotion, and they're like, hey, I got a solution to your problem. I noticed, Kirk, you couldn't get on Instagram, but you were streaming on 3 other services. I have this new thing that will allow you to stream on 5 services, right? Kirk now all of a sudden is promoting, and he gets that vendor technology. He gets that scalable, automated vendor technology that he needed to get his business to the next level to reach more people, right? Now, here's the third example. We're here promoting. I start putting things on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and I'm doing it every day. What about the person that's going to buy Kirk's business for $10 million? What about that person?
Is that it? Is that it?
That could be that. They could be on there today, but if you didn't promote today, they didn't see you. You missed the opportunity. If you didn't promote today, you missed that person that was going to give you $50 million, $100 million for your business, because they're on there today. They followed this hashtag. They hit this link. They're watching you. They're on Instagram. They're on Facebook. They're on YouTube, but you're not. So they can't meet you. This is I'll leave you with Grant's best quote. If they don't know you, they can't flow you. And that is a cardinal rule. They got to know you. That goes back to the very beginning when we first started talking, Kirk. The key to getting more of this is more people. That's it. You need more people. You got to partner to do this, to do it big. If you want to go big, you got to partner with people. Nobody ever built anything big by themselves. Elon Musk did not go to the moon because he built that entire thing by himself. He did not reinvent the electric car because he did it by himself. Amazon was not built by Jeff Bezos. It was built by hundreds and hundreds of thousands of technically capable, smart strategy employees that worked together and partnered with him. Hundreds of partnerships. So the question is, why are you still trying to build this on your own? Now, what I'd like to do, Kirk, if you don't mind, is invite anyone that's here to develop that relationship with me and just join me on Instagram at About Buck. If you're on Instagram, that's my personal brand. That's where I like to spend my time. If you're on Facebook, great. I'll see you once a month, maybe once a week. I don't get on there as much. Our brand is on there, but me personally, I'm looking for a relationship. So I'm on Instagram at About Buck, and I'd love for you to add me on there. And I'd love for you to just say hi and say, hey, Buck, got a lot of value. Love Kirk. It was great seeing you guys have that conversation. I'd love to
blow it up, guys. Let Buck Wise know it's About Buck at Instagram. Let's guy, I'm telling you, start following this guy and you will blow up your business. All right. I mean, absolutely, like 100% guaranteed.
Keep hanging with Kirk, man. Keep hanging with Kirk's bringing in good people. You see what Kirk did for you today? He's introducing you to new people. You wouldn't have met me if you hadn't have met Kirk. So you need to stay close to Kirk because he's hungry.
Oh, I'm hungry. All right.
I know you are, dude. I know you're hustling.
That's right.
And I align with hustlers. So if a hustler wants to hustle, I'll hustle with them. You know what I mean?
Let's go. Let's go. Buck
Awesome.
Wise, you are a master, my man. I certainly appreciate your time. You're a rock star. Thank you for joining us here tonight.
Always.
And I can't thank you enough. We will be blowing you up on social. So
Love it, dude.
keep up the good work, brother.
Let's get that money.
Let's go. Buck Wise, everybody. Wow. Dude, did not bring the heat?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. I literally took a whole page of notes. Just that was just like a 20-minute segment. I mean, like, he killed it.
Yeah, that was fabulous.
Okay, so like he talked about the 3 P's: promote, profit, process, and the multiplier being people. And then he, like, one thing I really like that he mentioned, and I didn't have time to, like, kind of recap and go through. He just like this threw up on us. I mean, like, he threw it out. But he mentioned that sales is a game. He did not, in different words. Sales is a game of certainty. Okay, you can't be fumbling through your notes. Oh my gosh, the dates were or will be October, November. Boom, trust is lost. Oh, the price is. Boom, trust is absolutely lost.
Well, yeah, that definitely hit me in a different way tonight when he said that. Just even in this instance of when someone asked you price, and he didn't even necessarily fumble at one time. He said, well, if you do this, versus this, and started to go into options versus saying the price ranges from 300 to 3,000. Like, and just giving a response that you can feel certain about, even if then you have to dig into to say, well, if we go into that, we go into this, but to be able to answer a question immediately and confidently and know like your ranges to be able to give a fast answer like that. Or yeah, of course we offer, paying up front, we offer leasing, we offer, and just giving them a list of things to then delve into later.
Yeah, I mean, and like his whole point about collaboration is a new currency. Like, I love how he talked about, he's like, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, all these big old massive players, they didn't build this by themselves. They have a huge team. And if your vision is so big, then you can't accomplish it by yourself. It's it literally is impossible. If you have a global vision, if you have in this case, like Elon Musk, he has intergalactic, I mean, like, this guy's mission's huge. Universal, yeah, Milky Way. I mean, it's probably bigger than that, honestly. That's just what he's letting us know. But like, I mean, think about that, man. It's collaboration is the new currency. Now he waved some cash in front of your face and some paper, and like, but I'm telling you, what's more important than the amount, that stack of cash that he waved in front of your face, are those relationships that he talked about from the very beginning, and not treating people as transactions. Because so often he's like, dude, small business owners, they're so like, I gotta get it, and they forget about the relationship, and they're so transactional, and then they blow up, and then their business is out.
Well, they're so hungry that they don't take the time to actually build a relationship. It's just, here, will you buy this? Great, okay, bye. And there's no leading up to that. There's no post after, and it just truly becomes so sterile, I guess would be the best way for it.
Yeah. And so if you can focus on the relationship, not the transaction, but the relationship. I mean, Jared Yellen talked about that Monday night. He's like, dude, I went to over 800 doors in a whole week and got a big old donut. Absolutely zero transactions. And I went into this shop and I sat down. I was like, man, it's been a tough day. And the guy's like, man, what's up, man? He's like, he told him the story, and he's like, well, you know what? I'm actually looking for that very same thing. And he realized then and there that the second he moved away from the script or the what he thought he was supposed to be doing, and he focused on the relationship, that's when the transaction happened. Not when he was fully focused on transactions, when he was just being himself.
Well, and I think also that's the hardest part for, maybe hardest isn't the right word, but one of the most challenging parts for people with sales is that the second that they try to start selling, sort of clam up, they lose their personality, and they get very focused on just, okay, these are the things I say, and I tell you the prices, and they lose that ability to be able to truly communicate with the person and listen to what they're saying and help them find like whatever the best thing is for them. And maybe that's not even your product. So maybe it's just a relationship where you help them find someone else who's better suited for what their needs are. And then maybe down the road, they help you find someone else who has what you need. And if not, you're still making a connection, a person that you're now getting to, build into their lives and them into yours. And they're opening a whole new range of people that you can then connect with too.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, like Beth and I were talking about this earlier today about, some of the things that we've heard specifically CPR instructors say about business, like asking some like questions that were like, oh my gosh, like it blew my mind that was even a question that they would ask. And so
it just shows like a small thing. And that's not to like call anyone out or make them feel bad, but it just shows you like where people are coming from, what starting point they're at. And there's nothing wrong with whatever place you're starting at, but it shows that there's a need for, stuff like this where it's educational and saying, hey, have a CRM, have a payment method, have all these things so that, you're not boxed in by, not having something or only having one option.
Yeah. And like, I'm sitting here, like, if you have not started following Buckwise yet, you need to follow Buckwise on Instagram immediately. Like, blow them up, take a picture, put it on your story, tag him, say this was incredible. Like, let him know that like what you heard him say tonight was powerful. Okay. I guarantee he'll reshare it. I mean, he is 100% about marketing, and he wants to know that the time that he just spent was well spent. So do me a huge favor and let Buckwise know that the reason you're on him because you saw him on Review Owners Live and you want to learn more about how to get a little bit more paper.
At About Buck.
At symbol About Buck. Okay, this guy's a rock star. He's played with the big boys: Google, Starbucks, Nike, Chevrolet, Volvo, Major League Baseball, North American International Auto Show, and if you know WPP, you know it.
And for what it's worth, for Kirk, who doesn't do Instagram as much, you don't need an at symbol. Just About Buck. The at is like,
there you go.
It delineates that it's on Instagram.
There you go.
Just type in About Buck.
So yeah, that shows you what I know about that.
He uses it, but maybe not the person running it.
Well, okay, so one thing that he mentioned he started to get into was that you don't only promote for your customers. Mm-hmm. All right, there's 4 people that you promote for. Number 1, first and foremost, you promote for yourself. You promote for you because you need to know you're in business. Number 2, you need to promote. If you got to take notes tonight, like write this down. Number 2 is you promote for your team. Your team needs to know you're in business. Your team needs to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, and you tell the story. Just like Pat Quinn talked about. He's like, you should tell your business story 7 times a week at minimum. And if you are at 7 by Friday, good for you. But if you're not, if you're at 5, you're going to be talking about it over the weekend. But like, listen, you truly need to be telling your story, your business story, every single day to as many people as possible. Guess what? It's not going to get old because people are going to hear it for the first time every single time you tell it. Even if you tell it multiple times a day, someone's going to hear it for the first time. And that's how it works. Number 3 is competition. Okay. You promote for your competition. All right. You want people to know that who's in the same industry as you. You want them to know, hey, I'm in business. I'm doing some big things. And I just want you to know I'm coming for you. And then the 4th and final reason you promote is for customers. That's like the last reason. Okay. I mean, a lot of times it's inverted. People only focus on just the people that they're trying to get. And that's not that's not the only reason you promote. It's just to get customers. No, you want to promote for yourself, your team, your competition. And then 4th and finally, you promote for the people you're trying to attract to be in your ecosystem as a client. And so, look, back to the, being certain, it is so important that you know your stuff backwards and forwards. You know without a shadow of a doubt the price is this, the dates are this. Because if you don't, boom, trust is lost. And like, oh, I have a great idea. What did you say? 90%? Probably more. Will listen to this information and throw it all away. Not because they didn't take good notes, not because they didn't understand the information, but because they are not committed to attack speed and actually implementing what they learn here tonight, tomorrow, or later tonight. So
And I mean, honestly, for something like we talked about tonight of like going live, you could do it as soon as we end.
you could, dude, he was on live with us and he was live somewhere
You're
else
still
on
promoting.
Instagram. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Like, that is literally how much he's promoting. You don't have to wait. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to have some Instagram filter on it.
The best part is
Your authentic self.
unless you have a gigantic following, in which case you're probably good to go on that kind of stuff. No one's probably gonna see it. Like your grandma might, if she's on Instagram, and a couple friends, but like no one that's gonna be like hating hard on you. Most likely, I don't know. Some families are, but on the whole, like just go live, do it. If it like totally takes, feel free to delete it. But at the end of the day, like just getting in the practice of that, you're gonna get more and more comfortable to where instead of being super awkward on camera, you can be really relaxed. And that's going to translate to talking to people too. When you're talking to clients, the more that you're comfortable going live or talking to a client, you're going to see the correlation across paths of those kind of things of where you're just more natural and more comfortable.
So I do want to bring up on the screen one last time this offer, because it is so powerful. Like, if you thought what you just heard from Buck Wise was incredible, imagine 15 speakers of his caliber all last week. That was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all last week, all bringing content just like what Buck Wise just delivered. And it was super powerful. And for only $97, that can all be yours today. And we want that for you because we believe that this content is going to help you grow your business more effectively, efficiently, and profitably, all while achieving your personal, professional, financial goals. Take some time, hit the link. I'm sure it's in the comments. Hit the link and know this: 100% of those proceeds don't go to us. Like, we did this 100% free. The speakers donated their time 100% free. It would have cost us $240,000 if this was a for-profit event to host all of those speakers in our virtual event. $240,000, almost $250,000. But they took their time and they donated, they gave it for free for the cause of Pass the Pulse, which is to get a defibrillator in the home of a family or in the community group of someone who needs a defibrillator. Okay. So take some time. It's $97. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. And so I just want to encourage everyone on here tonight. If you enjoyed, if you got one thing, one of his biggest things, he said, how many people did I connect with today? Wow. I'm sitting. That's one of my KPIs, by the way, key performance indicators. I sit here and I look on my phone, look on CRM, and I am able to see how many people I connected with today via text, via phone call, via follow-up email, via first-time proposal. I have so many metrics, and you should too. And if you don't, you gotta get it, because if your vision is so big, our vision to create a world where no one dies from sudden cardiac arrest. If your vision is that big, you need to be committed to your profession. You got to get on platforms like, Rescue Owners Challenge. You got to do daily training on Cardone University. You got to come to events and you got to network and build those relationships. The people that I brought in like today, Buck Wise, and throughout last week, those are people that I met networking at seminars, at workshops, at conferences, and building those relationships over years. Like, not a whole lot of people know this, but I put that together in less than a week. It was Wednesday of last week. I made the phone calls. I said, hey, I got a crazy idea. You in? And guess what? 15 people said yes. Not because they were looking to make some paper, but because they wanted to invest in the audience so that you can grow your business more effectively, efficiently, and profitably, all while achieving your personal, professional, financial goals. It has been an excellent episode, number 23 of Rescue Owners Live. I hope to see you every Monday, but especially next Monday from 8 to 9. And until then, be great.